Fred here, welcome back to the Gear Obsession channel. In this episode I will be doing an unboxing and a first impression of the KA-BAR TDI LDK. As always, we'll go ahead and take a look at the packaging before we unbox this. As you can see, we have KA-BAR, which sort of stands for Kill a Bear, and we have TDI, which is Tactical Defense Institute, and the LDK stands for Last Ditch Knife. This is the TDI's emblem. You can see it comes with some cord, a sheath, there's the knife, and they tout this for law enforcement, military, and personal protection. On the back we have some specs, barcode, they show it tied in a boot right there. You have a limited lifetime warranty, and you can see it's made in Taiwan, and of course KA-BAR actually is in Olean, New York, but this particular knife is made in Taiwan. So I don't actually think you need a knife to open up this knife, which is strange. Most blister packs you really got to have a knife to open a knife. So here's our knife. I'll move this out of the way. Have our sheath. And we have some cord. So let's go ahead and get a closer look at this. Let's get a first impression. So the way you're supposed to hold this is your middle finger should be going into this hole, and your finger goes into this choil. On the top here there's some jimping right there. So that you really have a good purchase on this. You could hold it like this also. Get a good purchase on there. It's not going anywhere with that deep choil in the back of your hand. The meat of your hand is keeping that from going back. I've also seen folks hold it like this, because this is a defensive type of knife, but you know, I'm really hesitant to say, hey, buy this as a defensive tool here without some really good training, because this is very small. So this KA-BAR TDI LDK has a overall profile about the size of a credit card. I have a sort of a credit card right here. You can see how small this is. This knife can be concealed just about anywhere. You could pin it under a tactical vest strap, hang it around your neck, laced in a boot, or carry it even in your wallet. This is really intended as a backup knife that's readily available as your last ditch attempt at defense when all other weapons have been removed or taken away, or you're trying to prevent someone from taking your primary weapon. Then you can pull this one with your offhand. This knife is sold, as you can see, with this glass reinforced nylon sheath. It's pretty sturdy. Let's go ahead and let's try to do that through the viewfinder, which wasn't working out too good. And pretty good retention there, and there's no shake. Pretty sturdy. So let's talk about the specifications really quick. This is a modified Wharncliffe, which Wharncliffes usually have a slight round to it, so I'm going to call this a modified one. So this is sort of straight, and it has a black epoxy coating on it to prevent rust. This is not a chisel ground. This is double bevel here, and we'll check to see how sharp it is here in a moment. But this it really does feel super sharp. It's a 1.5 inch blade, and as you can tell, it's completely flat blade edge, and overall length is 3 inches. The steel that this is made from is 9CR18 stainless steel, and again, this is a black glass fiberglass reinforced nylon, or FRN type of sheath This is made in Taiwan, and you can get it for about $10 or $15. So let's see how sharp this thing is out of the box. Ooh. Very sharp. I was almost push cutting it there. So this is very sharp. That might be one of the sharpest knives I've reviewed all year. Extremely sharp. So be careful with it. So the main use of this, obviously, is a concealed backup defensive type of knife. But that's not to say you can't use this for something else. But really, this is for use with, concealed on your body as a secondary. So you would probably put it somewhere where you could reach it with your offhand. In, let's say, a weapon retention situation. Someone's trying to get your primary weapon. You're holding it with your primary hand. You could pull this out with your offhand type of situation. I would not use this as the primary, unless, of course, your state only says you could have teeny little blades like this, and then there you go. This will become your primary. Other uses is, obviously, it cuts paper very well, so it would make a outstanding letter opener. It's probably great for opening up packages. Just I might keep this sort of heady here on my desk, just open up packages. And you could use it to cut cord, and even minor surgery, like if you have a blister, you could sort of poke it, because that end there is just like, it's almost like a scalpel. It's so sharp and feels like it's meant for precision. Let's go ahead and look at that TDI logo real quick. So you could use this for, draining blisters, or you could dig out splinters with this and whatnot. So it could actually, if you clean it real good, disinfect it, you could use it for surgery in an emergency situation. So really good. By the way, there's jimping on the top here, as you could see. There's KA-BAR. And here's your model number, and it is made in Taiwan. Again, you can sort of put your middle finger in there and hold it like that, or like that, or like that. All kinds of ways to hold this. Really nice. I like it a lot. So I'm going to give this a 9 out of 10, keeping in mind what this is. Again, the sheath has a lot of these holes right here, so you can do all kinds of things. First, tying it in your shoe, or somehow pinning it inside a belt on your offhand side would be a good idea. And around your neck with the particular cord it came with is not a great idea, only because it doesn't break away. So if it gets caught on something, you could end up in a situation where you're choking yourself, or someone could choke you with this. So it needs to have a breakaway if it's going around your neck. But the breakaway should be a couple of more pounds than what it takes to get the knife out of the sheath, because then the whole thing will come off. You know what I mean? So just be careful. So I like this a lot. TDI had worked with KA-BAR to come out with a whole bunch of defensive type knives. This is probably the smallest of them. You should check them out. They all seem to be very fast knives. And what I mean by fast is you can sort of have them ready, and you can pull it out and use it a lot quicker than you could get a folding blade out. And I don't care how good you are with a folding blade, this thing, just because there's just less manipulation required, just pull it out and go, you're going to be able to get it out faster than with a regular folder. So of course you need to know the laws of your state. So carrying a fixed blade can be an issue in many states out there, so I'm not saying do it without checking with your local laws first. Forgot to mention, there's also some jimping right in here too. So you have jimping here, and you have jimping on the top, so you have a lot of things there to keep it locked in. Even though it's very small, it's still quite comfortable, and you sure have a sure grip with something small. So pretty well made, pretty well designed. A lot of thought went into this. 9 out of 10. So thank you very much for joining me here at the Gear Obsession channel again. I really appreciate every friend, viewer, subscriber, and you. Have a great evening.